What is it about waterfalls that we find so endlessly fascinating? Is it their natural power, giving us perspective on our own minimal significance in the world? Is it science? Is it simply their aesthetic beauty, creating a sense of inner peace? Regardless of the reasons why, there are few things that can simultaneously invigorate and relax us. The best waterfalls in the world all have one thing in common: visiting them seems to improve our emotional and physical well-being, providing an excuse to exercise, improved respiration, a chance to relax, and a deeper appreciation for our time here on Earth. Continue to watch on, for the top 10 best waterfalls in the world. Number 1. IGUAZU Falls, Brazil and Argentina. Located on the border dividing the Argentine province of Misiones, from the Brazilian state of Paraná, IGUAZU Falls is the largest system of waterfalls in the world. It's taller than Niagara Falls, 269 feet, and 3,000 feet wider than Victoria Falls, with a majestic beauty that can only be described as mesmerizing. Local legends will tell you that one of their gods planned to marry a beauty, but instead fled with her mortal lover in a canoe, leading the jealous god to slice the river and create waterfalls that would doom their fate. Regardless of its true origins, IGUAZU's remarkable velocity and size make it a bucket list item for many travelers. Number 2. Niagara Falls, US and Canada. Although mass tourism threatens to ruin the nature lover's experience of this natural wonder, it's difficult to argue with its inclusion on every list of the best waterfalls in the world. Located on the Niagara River, which drains from Lake Erie into Lake Ontario, it's actually comprised of 3 separate falls. American Falls and the Bridal Veil Falls are both found on the US side. Horseshoe Falls, which is known to be the most powerful waterfall in North America, in terms of vertical height and flow rate, is found on the Canadian side. It may be a tourist trap for most people, but it's just one of those you have to see for yourself. Number 3. Golden Falls, Iceland. One of many incredible Icelandic waterfalls, which is immensely popular with travelers as part of the famed Iceland's interior tour, which also includes Thingvellir and the geysers. Located in the River Canyon, the UNESCO World Heritage Site isn't nearly as tall as some of the other waterfalls on this list. It's more renowned for its beauty, including a 3-step staircase with 36-foot and 69-foot drops, and a 105-foot plunge into a crevice, and its mystery: when you approach the falls, the obscured view of the edge almost makes it look like the river vanishes. Number 4. PLITVICE Waterfall, Croatia. This gorgeous gem is part of the Lakes National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Because of its beauty, it is now one of Europe's most beloved attractions. The park consists of 16 lakes, a confluence of rivers on the dynamic karst landscape, are all interconnected, separated by natural dams of travertine, created by the growth of algae, bacteria, and moss, which flow from one into the other. As a result, the waters are renowned for their vivid colors, which range from sky blue to emerald green, and often change with the light. Avid nature photographers will want to spend at least a week here to soak up all its glory. Number 5. Yosemite Falls, US. Located in California's Sierra Nevada mountains, this grand dame of US waterfalls is an iconic American landmark. Starting from a height of 2,425 feet, the waterfall tumbles down a 3-tiered section into the Yosemite Valley. With its spectacular 1,430-foot plunge, the upper end of the fall is tall enough to rank among the world's 20 highest waterfalls. The middle cascades are comprised of 5 smaller plunges that drop 675 feet, but they're relatively inaccessible and difficult to see. The lower end of the fall is the most commonly used viewpoint, offering close-ups of the final 320-foot drop into a plunge pool that feeds into the Merced River. Number 6. Angel Falls, Venezuela. It's hard to think of this Venezuelan wonder without remembering the emotional film by Pixar, in which elderly grouch Carl Fredricksen visits the captivating tabletop mountains and waterfalls in order to realize a long-delayed dream after his beloved wife passes away. Locals refer to this majestic beauty as Carapacapaivina, waterfall of the deepest place. At 3,212 feet, with a plunge of 2,648 feet, this is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall in the world, dropping over the edge of Ollantaytambo Mountain, in Canaima National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Number 7. GIOC-DETIAN Falls, China and Vietnam. If you're one of those people for whom bigger is always better, These two waterfalls on the Quezon River, which straddles the border between China and Vietnam, may not be of interest. But for those who appreciate natural beauty more than size, their picturesque setting makes them a must-see. Located around 170 miles north of Hanoi, the waterfalls are surrounded by dramatic karst landscape, and separated by myriad rocks and trees to create dramatic views, even during the dry season. During the wet season, the sound of the water dropping down a 98-foot cliff is as thundering as the stunning scenery. Number 8. Victoria Falls, Zambia and Zimbabwe. Known among locals as the Smoke That Thunders, this UNESCO World Heritage Site lies on the Zambezi River, at the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. If your idea of the best waterfalls in the world is quantified by size and velocity, Victoria Falls is arguably the king of them all, at 5,604 feet wide and 354 feet high. With a flow rate of 38,430 cubic feet per second, it forms the largest sheet of falling water on the planet. With Zambia's MOSI-OA-TUNYA National Park on one side, and Zimbabwe's Victoria Falls National Park on the other, it's no wonder this is number one on many African travelers' list. Number 9. KAIETEUR Falls, Guyana. Angel Falls is much taller, but this lesser-known gem located on the Potato River, in KAIETEUR National Park, earns respect as one of the world's most powerful waterfall, with an average flow rate of approximately 23,400 cubic feet per second. It's also the world's widest single-drop waterfall, bringing water originating from the PAKARAIMA Mountains down to a dramatic 741-foot drop. It is part of the Guyana rainforest, and the area is a burgeoning ecotourism hotspot, filled with wildlife species. Number 10. Jim Jim Falls, Australia. This plunge waterfall sits around a huge area of greenery, and is part of the Kakadu National Park, another UNESCO World Heritage Site, in Australia's Northern Territory. Rainfall plays a huge role in any waterfall's appearance, but rarely is the impact so dramatic. Visit this amazing waterfall during the dry season. The flow of water descends from 850 feet above sea level, via one huge drop into a plunge pool, also known as Jim Jim Creek. It may look a little more than a trickle. But during the wet season, December through to March, this roaring wonder is incredible to behold. Unfortunately, the roads are impossible to travel during those times, so you'll need a scenic flight to get a photo.